It's the 8th night of Hanukkah. My name is Cantor and I'm not sure I remember the words. I think tonight, after 8th night, I remember that. But if not, it's okay to use our programs. The text is over there. This is our chant. Let's do it once. Because otherwise, we're really not
I'm a past president of Masorti Olami and honored to be tonight's Master of Ceremonies. First and foremost, let us congratulate our most wonderful honorees, Claude Kelman, Rabbi Richard and Sharon Hammerman, and Cantor Freda and Jack. As an introductory comment, let me start with a music anecdote that I've told members of my congregation, quite a few of whom are here tonight. It's a Manhattan story of a businessman who comes out of his office building in Midtown and he's accosted by a lovager who says, "Are you Jewish?" And the man says, "That's a very personal question. Yes, I'm Jewish, but if you're really interested in asking me if I'm Jewish or if I put on film, why don't you ask that young woman who's coming out of the building, a colleague of mine, she is Jewish too." The lovager turned to him and said, "I, a Lubavitcher chassid, should ask a Jewish woman if she put on film today?" Well, the Jewish man, being knowledgeable, said, "Don't you know that in the Midrash, Michal bat Shaul put on tefillin? So King Saul's daughter, Michal, put on tefillin." Lubavitcher thought for a second and undaunted said, "You're right, but times have changed." Masorti Olami has always had the responsibility of Kiyum Ha'am, preserving the Jewish people into the future. And the single most powerful mitzvah in that regard in the 20th century was Hatzalat Nefashot, saving precious souls whose lives were in jeopardy from state-sponsored anti-Semitism. Now in the 21st century, times have changed. We still have fears and needs for defense and solidarity. But we have, in this time of change, we have a new mitzvah, which is paramount to the work of Masorti Olami, and that is Hatzalah Ruchani, spiritual rescue, at a time of increasing secularism, anti-Zionism, anti-Semitism, Jewish illiteracy, family breakup, geographic dispersion, and indifference. The World Jewish Congress estimates that of 8.5 million Jews in the diaspora, we might lose, God forbid, as many as 1/3, particularly young Jews, during the next generation. To address that issue, Masorti Olami is at the forefront, and we have done a lot. Institutionally, 15 years ago, to be most effective, we moved our headquarters to the central address of Jewish life to Jerusalem, and we took on a Hebrew name. The World Council became Masorti Olami. 15 years ago, we merged the infrastructure of Masorti Olami with Merkaz Olami, and with one unified executive director. Joe Ornick was the founder of that position, now carried on so beautifully by Tzvi Bress. Masorti Olami serves as the mainstream of Jewish life in the diaspora of Latin America. We have 72 affiliated Latin American kihilot, and many, many more who engage with us. Masorti Judaism as a region began its work around that time, in the year 2000. And today I'm proud to say we have 32 affiliated kihilot throughout Europe and growing. We also have 17 Masorti kihilot that have arisen and affiliated in Africa, Asia, and Australia. We've become such a world movement that the 600 United Synagogue congregations today are joined by 200 kihilot in Masorti Olami and in Israel, a major and wonderful change. Masorti Olami trains future leaders and rabbis through a network of Marom Olami. Marom Olami, for young adults, now has 2,000 such leaders all throughout the diaspora as well as in Israel. We also have augmenting 12,000 U.S. wires. We have 8,000 members of Noam around the world and Noam in Israel. And our future rabbis are trained not just at JTS and at Ziegler, where they are beautifully, as well as at the Schechter Institute in Jerusalem, but also for Latin America at our Buenos Aires Seminario Latinoamericano, Rabbinical Latinoamericano, and now in Europe at the new Zachariah Frankel Rabbinical School in the outskirts of Berlin. Times have changed. Conservative Masorti Judaism is no longer Anglos only, no longer North America only. We are a global movement of nearly 2 million self-identified conservative Masorti Jews 800,000 of them outside of the USA. As we ward off assimilation and we promote Kiyum Ha'am, this evening is a joyous celebration of Masorti Olami's mitzvah work, and we applaud each of you for your support, your encouragement, and your friendship. Toda Rabah.
Wow. Look at this amazing Hanukkah gathering as together we spread the light across the world. Mazel tov to our amazing honorees, our incredible tribute committee, and our outstanding professional staff for organizing such a successful event. We are so blessed to have so many dedicated lay and professional leaders of our movement in attendance tonight. If I were to recite all your names, we would be here until Pesach. So please know, your passion and participation is very appreciated. Toda Rabah. Many of you are here for your first time and are asking, what is Masorti Olami? In Hebrew, Masorti means traditional, and Olami means world. Simply put, together, we are the worldwide conservative or Masorti movement. I invite you to open the picture book on your seats and turn to the map on the last page. Masorti Olami is the arm of our worldwide movement that develops kehilot, congregation in Hebrew, outside of North America and Israel. One might get easily confused with the different names of arms within our movement, but actually it is quite simple. There are over 800 conservative, or as I just taught you before, the word Masorti synagogues, throughout 40 different countries. In North America, United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism is a congregational arm that represents 600 communities. In Israel, the Masorti movement has 70 kehilot. Remember in Hebrew, that's the word for congregations. And we, Masorti Olami, represent 130 kehilot in Latin America, Europe, former Soviet Union, Africa, and Australia. One of our primary goals is to help unite our worldwide movement, which champions pluralism, egalitarianism, and a serious commitment to our Jewish tradition. This past summer, I was very fortunate to participate in our Masorti Olami European mission, which was in partnership with JTS Gladstein Rabbinic Fellows. We discovered thriving Masorti kehilot in Budapest, Paris, and London. One incredible highlight occurred in Paris when a rabbinical student said, "I thought I was coming to see the graveyard of European Jewry. Instead, I have seen flourishing kehilot and learned valuable lessons, which I can bring back to my community in the United States." So make sure on your next trip abroad to visit one of our amazing kehilot. You will meet our growing youth movement called Noah and our sensational network of students and young professionals called Maron. Just like Yosef's brothers in yesterday's Parsha, your Masorti brothers and sisters seek a relationship with you. You will be received with a warm hug in France by Claude, Annette, Chloe, and Aline. Where are you? Please stand so everyone meets you. Please stand. In Hungary by Esther, Susanna Mary Wester. Please stand. In Argentina by Gaston Stokolnik, the president of the and of course, by Jillian and Eddie in England. Thank Thank you for your generous support tonight, and know that your ongoing financial commitment will help us fulfill Yosef's dreams of uniting the Jewish people and feed our growing hunger to spread the Hanukkah light in every corner of the earth that we touch. Chavuvim Sameach and Mazal Tov.
Okay, we now continue by calling upon the Hammerman family to make the presentation, special presentation to Rabbi Richard and Sharon Hammerman.
I think they'll want to stay right where they are. They're fine there. Thank you to my sisters and Josh and Rebecca and Ari, Rena, Alami, and Hannah for giving me this aliyah. It's wonderful to be here tonight. About 13 years ago, Rabbi Silverstein, you together with Rabbi Joe Wernick, sent Rebecca and I on an extended honeymoon to Madrid, Spain, where we were to help develop Congregación Beit El from a small chavurah into a functioning synagogue. And after we found our house, we found an apartment, we got settled, we turned to ourselves and said, what in the world do we do with this opportunity that we found ourselves in, with this responsibility to help develop a Masorti shul in Madrid, in Spain? And it just took a few days for us to realize that we just simply had to think back to the model set before us by my parents growing up as we did, my sisters and I did in Tom's River, to have a home that greets everyone with a very cheerful face, to be highly creative in programming and in finding new ways to make Judaism completely relevant. Then it was the early 21st century. And finally to have a home that's completely open. You never know who you're going to find sitting around the kitchen table or the dining room table or in what was once my bedroom now in Caldwell, New Jersey. Wouldn't the whole world be a better place? Wouldn't the whole Jewish world be a better place? Wouldn't the whole Masorti world be a better place if more people set the sort of example that we were so fortunate enough to have set before us by our parents, Richard and Sharon Hammerman. Mazel tov.
Thank you, Eitan, representing your siblings and the entire family. And unfortunately, well, maybe we can still light it when we get back to Caldwell tonight. Otherwise, I'll have to wait a whole year. Rabbi Randy Brown gave specific instructions that since time is short, we shouldn't offer thank yous in our brief remarks tonight. Since Eitan and I both helped to organize previous Masorti Olami tributes, I must show the proper respect and follow the dictates by those doing so much of the behind-the-scenes work for this event, and not thank Randy or Tzvi or Stephanie or Talia or any of the others who worked so hard to make this event a success. I also will not thank Alan Silverstein and Ed Gladstein for encouraging me to work for Masorti Olami when I retired from Congregation B'nai Israel in Tom's River, and Alan for serving as MC so masterfully this evening. It's very special to celebrate this event at Park Avenue Synagogue. 4 of us who are here this evening were ordained on this bima in the sanctuary has gotten smaller through the years. I don't know how that happened, it seems to. It's very special to celebrate this event with our children and our grandchildren, Leah, Yael, and Josh, and Hannah, who hopefully is asleep and still isn't missing her parents, who left precipitously early this evening. Eitan, Rebecca, Lonnie, Ari, and Rena. First, special to celebrate this event is honorees, especially along with Claude, Freda, and Jack. I knew Jack before I ever met him. I had the privilege of interning as a rabbinical student with Rabbi Chaim Pearl. Chaim and Anita Pearl always talked about their Cantor Jackie, who was a Ben Bayit in their home in Riverdale. Sharon and I learned many things about practical rabbinics from Chaim and Anita Pearl. But most importantly, we learned that what we knew to be a conservative movement was larger than what we experienced here in the USA. Chaim and Anita grew up in England. Chaim was a good friend of Rabbi Louis Jacobs and continued to follow the theological and intellectually honest approach which Rabbi Louis Jacobs modeled. We had the privilege of being guests at Claude Synagogue this past June, along with the Gladstein Fellows and the Masorti Olami mission to Hungary, France, and England. We had met Claude in Israel and the United States previously, but never had the pleasure of seeing the wonderful Masorti congregations which Claude helped to mold in Paris. His work takes on even greater significance at this crucial time in French-Jewish history. When Sharon was growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina, she never imagined that she would end up visiting Masorti Jewish communities in South Africa, South America, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, Western Europe, the UK, and throughout Israel, as well as the United States. Sharon and I owe a debt of gratitude, as all of us do, to Rabbi Ben Kreitman of blessed memory, who pioneered the work of the World Council of Synagogue, and whose site will be observed on the 10th of Tevet. We also remember our former Town River congregant Simon Schwartz, who is such an important figure in the Masorti world, throughout the world, and in Israel and the United States. Receiving the Rabbi Mordechai Waxman Award for Rabbinic Leadership is quite an honor. I served as teacher and assistant principal of the Hebrew High School of Temple Israel in Great Neck, Rabbi Waxman's Synagogue, in the late 1960s and early 70s. And a few of us here this evening taught together, including Alex Silverstein and Carl Walken and Herbert Kavon, who else? Oh, Ron Huffberg, and Chuck Simon, and Sharon. Sharon drove her, she has a distinction of driving her Volkswagen Beetle into the youth house on Purim. Don't ask her how she ever got the Volkswagen out of the youth house. That's another story. One of my first personal experiences with the worldwide globe-trotting rabbi was inviting Rabbi Waxman to speak with my Hebrew high school class in the old youth house at Temple Israel when he and Ruth returned from a trip to India. I still remember his description of seeing sacrifices offered in Indian temples. I worked with Morty Waxman when I served as Director of Collegiate Activities for United Synagogue. The Atid president at the time was a Brandeis University student by the name of Johnny Waxman. We're so pleased that Rabbi Jonathan Waxman and his wife Sarai are here celebrating with us this evening and is joining us in celebration of the memory of Rabbi Mordechai Waxman, Alav HaShalom, Zechor Hazal. It's a special privilege receiving this award for me and Sharon, since Rebecca and Eitan were honored by Masorti Olami, receiving the Simon Schwartz Youth Leadership Award for their work with Chaim Masorti at a similar event here at the Park Avenue Synagogue in 2004. This evening represents what Masorti Olami is throughout the world. Beautiful art being offered for auction. Wonderful music, inspiring words of Torah, prayers for celebration for the final night of Hanukkah, community, and joyous Jewish togetherness. The Masorti represents the totality of Judaism and Jewish life, combining art, culture, ritual, aesthetics, and thoughtful reflection. The Hanukkah would be dark. It would remain unlit if it wasn't for the shamash. The shamash helps to light each candle. You here this evening, each and every one of you, are those supporters who are the shamash, who light the candle and bring light to the Hanukkah. You here this evening and those who are unable to attend but are supporting the work of Masorti Olami worldwide, you bring the light of Jewish culture, modernity, intellectual honesty, and thoughtful appreciation of our sacred heritage to a world which so needs more light. May we all be privileged to continue to add our own light to the Hanukkah and to the world. May we add light to the worldwide Masorti movement, so that by next Hanukkah, Judaism's light will shine even more brightly throughout the world. Thank you for this great time.
Thank you so much to Cantors and Choir for the beautiful music. During the Hammerman's moving remarks, I kept thinking about Rabbi Ron Hofberg, who's here this evening in honor of the Hammermans. He is our Masorti rabbi in the Czech Republic and a Benvai of the Hammerman family. Where's Ron Hofberg? I remember vividly when we had a Masorti Olami mission, escorting Ron to his new kehillah 15 years ago. We arrived, and on Shabbat, during the davening, I noticed three very orthodox-looking young men shuffling in the back. I turned to Ron and I said, Ron, I guess these are the spies being sent by the chief rabbi, Rabbi Sidon, who doesn't approve of what we're doing. Ron turned to me and said, no, Al, you have to understand. These guys are the sons of Jewish men and of communist women. They are of Jewish background. They desperately want to convert. They've studied Judaism intensely. They've become fully observant. But nothing that they can do can make them acceptable to Rabbi Sidon's Haredi Beit Din here in Prague. One of the many miracles that Masorti Olami, Bate Din do all over the world is enabling sincere Jews by choice to convert halakhically into Judaism in Prague, in Poland, in France, England, the former Soviet Union, in Uganda, all over Latin America, a profound mitzvah indeed. At this point, it's my pleasure to call upon Rabbi Chuck Simon to make the presentation to Claude Kelman.
I first met Claude some 30 years ago when I was asked by the then World Council of Synagogues to visit our founding congregation at Dat Shalom in Paris. I met in a little apartment at the time, and to meet with Claude, the founder of Dat Shalom. Those were the days of before plain paper faxes, to give you an idea of some context. And I knocked on the door. I had the name of the number of the code, and I showed up in the shul on a Shabbat morning, and I was greeted by Claude, who was cautiously cordial. That's the only way I could describe it. After all, here was this American rabbi coming in and asking, the founder of the shul, what could we do to be helpful? And we fenced for a while, and over the course of other visits and many faxes, we decided jointly that we were going to publish the first Masorti in French. And this led to not only working together, but led to a whole publication program of other books, which eventually actually morphed into the translation and publication of Siddur Shalom. And as a result of the work that Claude and I were doing, I was asked to lead the intermarriage service for the holidays of Dat Shalom. Now, intermarriage service meant something different in France than it does here, especially then. What he was asking me to do, because to be intermarried in France at that time was to be an American-born or a British-born Jewish person who married a Parisian Jew. And so I went, I prepared and led services, and the first day of Rosh Hashanah, after services, what do? It's time for Tasha. And where do you have Tasha in Paris? You have it in the Seine, right by the Eiffel Tower. And so here we are, we get 150 men and women and children walking down to the Seine with our bags of bread. And for those of you who've been to Paris before, you know that there's these tour boats, the Bateau Mouche, which travels around in the Seine. And as we were standing there with our bread, holding our bread, the boat came by, and hundreds of men and women started taking photographs of us. It almost felt like the boat was going to capsize towards us. And we didn't think anything of it. We proceeded to throw our bread into the water. And about 6 months later, Rabbi Oni Reznikov, who was serving in Japan at the time, sent me a photograph and a translation from the Japanese, which read, "Jews feeding the gefilte fish on Yom Kippur." result of the work we did together, Claude was instrumental in guiding me as he formed my synagogues in Mexico, Gans and Nice. And what started as a business relationship has grown into a love relationship between our families. And it's really my pleasure to introduce the founder of Adat Shalom, the first president of Masorti France, the first president of Masorti Europe, my dear friend, Claude Kelman.
When I have been offered by Masorti Olami to accept the tribute for my career as a volunteer in the Masorti movement, I accepted willingly, without knowing that what would happen. Meanwhile, as all of you know, in France, almost 5 weeks ago, when the obscure forces called Daesh, also called the Islamic State, struck France on December 14, killing 130 young people, wounding 400 others. Among them, 190 are still in the hospital, for certain of them in a critical stage. 2,000 French families have been impacted. 20 children lost their both parents. Lately, here in the United States, a couple of Pakistanis origin has killed 14 handicapped and wounded a lot more. Every day in Israel, Jews are stabbed by Palestinians in the streets, and these infamies are perpetrated on behalf of God. It is the first time, in fact, that the French society is targeted as such by Islamists, rejecting alcohol, music, freedom of conscience, and women's rights. This time, the Jewish community is not involved, but I have no illusion of the future. The President of the French Republic has declared at the French TV that France was at war. He has declared a state of emergency. Police and army arrest Islamists, expel some of them, close ultra-radical mosques. The main question remains, isn't it too late? Meanwhile, our best response as Jews is to carry on our projects and to move forward. When Masorti Olami offered me to receive this tribute, I thought immediately that we could raise money to develop our museum. Today, focus is a very important project for all of us. When I founded Adat Shalom in 1987, it was already my main concern, because this is the best vehicle to transmit on middle and long term our values based on tolerance, tradition, and modernity. No harm exists in France, but is perfectible. With the help of Masorti Olami and his newly hired Noam director, various training sessions will be organized with different groups in different countries, including Israel. A director from around France will be shortly hired, and hopefully we will have an operation group of kids of different ages in Paris, in Nice, Marseille, Aix-en-Provence, able to strengthen or better the group of young adults, Maroc, and to succeed to the older generation with knowledges and principles. Our key organization is Masorti Olami. I want to underline its importance and to give, with the permission of my thanks to its President Janine Shapira, who came from France with her husband, François, to give me their support. Masorti Europe has also a key role in the development of our movement, since it has been established already 10 years ago. It has expanded tremendously. Beside England and France, the two largest communities, we have founded Masorti synagogues all over Europe, especially in Germany, Hungary, Holland, Spain, Czech Republic, Ukraine. Our youth movements will take in the future a major part on the development of Masorti. As you can see, there is a continuum in our action and philosophy. And this is what I wanted to share with you tonight. My special thanks go to my friend Rabbi Chuck Simon, who convinced Francophile, who offered his help years ago and succeeded to achieve many Masorti projects in France and Europe. I thank all my colleagues of Masorti Olami, with whom I share a lot of exciting time. My thanks also for my friends in France who have supported me since the beginning. Some of them are there tonight, some have disappeared. My thoughts go particularly to my successor at the head of that Shalom, Evelyn Montserrat, who passed away suddenly at 53 4 years ago. And last but not least, I thank my wife, Annette, for her patience and indestructible support during the last 45 years, and to our daughter, Chloe, who made her free to attend the tribute in spite of two dynamic sons of 12 and 9, and a very busy professional life. I forgot to tell you also that she is involved in Navarre. It's probably the family disease. Thanks.
Thank you, Claude, and very moving remarks for us all. Momentarily, we're going to honor two magnificent Chazanim, Cantor Freda and Jack who had dedicated their lives to promoting Jewish liturgy, davening, Torah, tefillin, talit, sidurim. Masorti Olami dedicates its life, its lifeblood to those very same values. I remember when the Jews of Argentina, in the midst of the economic crisis of 14 years ago, were fleeing to countries that were Spanish-speaking, and some came back to Spain. They had been in a country of great, intensive Judaism, and they came to a country with no Torah. And I remember when Bill and Amy Lipsy from Masorti Olami, for their son David's bar mitzvah, came with David and brought the first Torah to Beit El in Madrid, where Eitan and Rebecca Hammerman were there as Nechel Masorti. And the Jews of Madrid were in tears. Torah had come with them. And I remember on the same mission we visited with Rabbi Hofburg in Prague. We went to Wrocław, Poland. That's used to be Breslau, Germany, where the Jewish Theological Seminary was first created way back in Germany. Our two local guides were two young men, Camille and Janusz. And we carried with us tefillin and sidurim and talitot to give as gifts when necessary. And in the morning minyan, we gave to each of them a sidur, talit, and tefillin. And Camille was in tears. He said to us, sidur? He said, the last sidur in my family, I'm told, was during the Shoah, when the Nazis came to our town, and our family fled, and we took our urgent possessions, and we forgot to take our Jewish possessions. And it was the last sidur my family has had until today. And Janusz said to us, you know, my Jewish identity has been aroused, and I've been selected by the louder summer camps to be a Madrid, a counselor. But for the training session to which I'll be attending, I was told to bring talit and tefillin. And I laughed, where would I ever obtain talit and tefillin? And as if you were coming down Min HaShamayim, you have brought these to us. Cantors Freda and Jack have brought Torah, talit, and tefillin, and sidurim to countless numbers of generations of Jews. And it's my delight to call upon Barbara and Steve Kessler to present the Mendelssohns with their award.
It is my privilege and pleasure to speak briefly about Jack and Freda. Over 30 years ago, my family and I were privileged to be able to join the Temple Israel Center in White Plains. And during this entire 30 years, we have been taught with incredible effort and commitment by Cantor Mendelssohn in terms of his rich commitment to the rich Jewish heritage of music and traditions and customs. And Jack and Freda have been personally committed to preserving Chazanut in the United States and globally through, first, all of their rich programming in our congregation, in many congregations in the United States and around the world, in their countless concerts, whether they be in Hebrew, English, or Yiddish. You must attend their Yiddish concerts. And their incredibly talented family that we saw tonight, including their son Danny and their wonderful daughter Amanda. It is through that tremendous commitment of Chazanut that many of us have really learned more to feel pride and enjoy our rich heritage. But it doesn't stop there. Jack and Freda are incredibly unique because simultaneously, throughout their careers, they have passionately nurtured and supported so many clergy or students interested in music around the world. And to see that in action day in and day out, when anyone shows any interest in liturgy or music, you will see Jack and Freda. A good example is our discussing the program tonight. Jack and Freda said, where is it going to be a choir for young people to participate? In this tremendous nurturing and support of Jewish communities and people is so representative of the incredibly important work of Masorti Olami that both Claude and Rabbi Silverstein so eloquently said. This is the time for all of us, when we think of the world, to want to preserve the ability of Jews to both create and sustain wonderful communities around the world, in addition to our strong presence in Israel and the United States. So please, tonight, all of us should joyfully, in the spirit of Hanukkah, join together in pledging to actively support Masorti Olami and am so privileged to present this award to Jack and Freda for what they stand for day in and day out on behalf of all of us. So please join in this tribute.
We want to thank Steve for your kind words, your friendship, and especially your dedication, along with your beautiful wife, Barbara, to Masorti Olami.
We are so proud to be listed among the illustrious honorees this evening, joining all of the cantors who have been honored with this award in the past.
Mazel tov to Claude and to Richie and Sharon for the tremendous work that you do, and a big thank you to Randy Brown for your guidance and your commitment to this important organization.
Thank you to our incredible son and daughter-in-law, Danny and Amanda, to Linda Hall Gerson for playing for us tonight. To the marvelous Chazan Ozzy Schwartz, David Tillman, Elizabeth Rogers, and the wondrous and beautiful H.L. Miller, cantorial school choir from JTS, and a big thank you to their leader, Nancy Abramson, who shepherds these beautiful young people every day with love and caring, and brings them to the threshold of the cantorate.
We so appreciate all our friends who are here and those who have sent in contributions to Masorti Olami in our honor.
We're so glad that my beloved brother Saul, he's also my mentor, and his beautiful wife Emma are here, as well as members of Larchmont Temple and Temple Israel Center of White Plains. With a big shout out to Rabbis Gordon Tucker and Ari Eisenberg.
And the rest of our thank yous come in the form of music.
is the shining example of Hebrew mitzvah. Amor
Another Hanukkah song.
Thank you so much to cantors and to choir and to just these incredible inspirational pieces of our God. Just one parting thought. One parting thought as we conclude this inspirational evening. We've all been moved by the deep and abiding friendship of Pope Francis and Rabbi Avram Skorka, the rector of our seminario, Buenos Aires. It's not a coincidence. You see, Pope Francis is the first pope who ever served as an archbishop in a Jewish community of large size, and not just large size, but dominated by Masorti conservative Judaism. And that's important because as Archbishop Archbishop Bergoglio would not have had such a deep bond with Rabbi Skorka if it had not been for the fact that he found a dialogue partner immersed in traditional Jewish observance, knowledgeable very deeply in traditional Jewish text, yet open to engaging in dialogue with other faith views, other communities. That is a synthesis he could not have found in Orthodoxy or in Reform. It's a special mission of our Masorti movement to the Jewish world and to the world at large. We are delighted to have had this inspirational evening. We're very grateful to all of you, our dear friends and supporters, for making possible the fulfillment of our dreams. We invite you to participate in the final moments of the silent auction and in the dessert reception to Dollar Block to everyone.
Oh,
enjoy the desserts.